After more than a quarter century of wandering the globe, capturing wild animals, and somehow never looking a day over 11, Ash Ketchum is stepping down as the protagonist of the Pokémon anime. But there are new heroes on the horizon, or rather, horizons, on Pokémon Horizons, the series. Here to tell me all about it from the Pokémon Company International are Andy Gose and Hilary Thomas. What's up?
Hi.
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes. So this is very momentous to have you here. This is the first time Pokemon has been at Comic-Con.
Yeah, first time at SDCC.
What's it been like? How was the panel?
It was amazing. The panel went super well. Like, the audience was really responsive to all the cool new things we shared with them, and yeah, it was a blast.
It was really incredible, like, to be on stage and have people, watching the content that we've made and responding the way that I hoped they would, and it was so exciting. It was one of the greatest honors of my life.
That is awesome. That is so cool. But yeah, let's talk about the new stuff. Well, first of all, we have the ending to Pokémon Ultimate Journeys, the series, which we're finally going to say goodbye to Ash and Pikachu. And I know some people out there, they saw it air in Japan and know what happens, but I haven't watched it yet. I know a lot of people out there have not as well, and they're just emotionally stealing themselves for it. So why was now the time that Ash and Pikachu were saying goodbye?
I think Ash has been after it for so long, and he's become such an icon, and, I think he's grown. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, giving him a really fitting send-off and really sort of wrapping things up for him is, I don't know. I think it's awesome. I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's really bittersweet, though, because I've been a fan my whole life, like since I was 16. And I always thought Ash and Pikachu were going to be there. I always thought it was going to go on. But, now we're going to have a whole new set of stories, and I'm excited to tell those.
Well, and it is very cool, though. We have sort of a lovely send-off for Ash and Pikachu where, they kind of travel the lands a bit and revisit some old friends, and there are a lot of folks that the audience is going to appreciate seeing in those episodes.
It's a little bit of a victory lap. Like, Brock and Misty come back. We'll see Lapras. We'll see a lot of these fan favorites. The Squirtle Squad comes back, which is awesome.
Squirtle Squad represent. Let's go.
Team Rocket will be there, of course.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well,
are they going to blast off again one more time?
one more time.
I have a
You'll
feeling.
have to watch.
But so once that series is over, you're launching a new show, Pokémon Horizons. That's very exciting. What is the show about?
Well, in really broad strokes, it's we have dual protagonists for the first time. We have a female protagonist for the first time, which is incredible. And it's really about this young girl, Liko, and her sort of discovering herself and finding herself and meeting up with this whole crew of people on an airship, of all things, and really sort of exploring the world, exploring themselves, and making these friendships and partnerships that are going to last a lifetime.
She's sort of swept up into a grand adventure, and we're really excited to share that with everybody.
Yeah, so who are the new protagonists of the show?
So Liko, who we spoke of, they're dual protagonists, actually, Liko and Roy, but I'll speak to Liko first. So Liko is sort of a younger girl coming of age, sort of figuring out what life is about, and her parents send her off to Indigo Academy, where they went to school, and her grandmother sends her off with a pendant, which becomes very important and part of this adventure we're speaking of. There she's paired with Sprigatito, her partner Pokemon, and Liko's sort of an introvert, sort of in her head, very pensive, figuring things out, and Sprigatito is very capricious, very tending to do whatever it wants to do. Impulsive, thank you. And the two start to act on each other very quickly, and we start to see a side of Liko that, starts to add a lot of depth and dimension, and I love that about her. Yeah.
And as an introvert with anxiety myself, I super relate to Liko.
Oh, I love that. And the other protagonist, what's their partner Pokemon?
Yeah, Roy is the other protagonist. His partner Pokemon is Fuecoco. It doesn't start off that way, actually, though, because Roy comes from an island that's a little bit unique in terms of the Pokemon world. There aren't really Pokemon trainers. People don't have partner Pokemon. They don't, team up like that. They don't battle. They just kind of live in harmony with the Pokemon. But Roy is very online, just like me, and he knows exactly what a Pokemon trainer is, and he knows that that's what he wants to be.
Okay.
And so he's gonna make that happen.
Okay, Sprigatito and Fuecoco, I'm not hearing anything about Quaxley. I'm taking that a little personally as a Quaxley starter main over here.
Let me tell you, Quaxley is incredibly important to this
Oh.
series in ways that I am not allowed to talk to you about right now.
I'll just take that as the best is yet to come for me personally. Yeah. So this is actually what I want to know the most about. Captain Pikachu. We've seen Pikachu wear all sorts of hats over his career, especially if you have Pokemon Go. You probably have a whole box full of just Pikachu wearing different hats. This is Pikachu in a captain's hat. Who is Captain Pikachu? Who's his trainer? What's the deal there? What's he the captain of?
Yeah, so Captain Pikachu, great question. Captain Pikachu is Pikachu as we've never seen a Pikachu before. This Pikachu is actually the captain of the airship for the Rising Bolt Tacklers that are kind of our hero, our good guys. It's, Pikachu with a command and a presence and, really truly a captain.
Yeah, and it's sort of independent, which is interesting. So it works with Freed and is friends with Freed, but Freed's partner Pokemon is Charizard, and Freed is the leader of the Rising Bolt Tacklers. So him and Cap work side by side as a team all the time.
Yeah, the swashbuckling Freed and the sort of commanding captain. It's a great pairing.
That sounds really cool. Who are the villains of the show going to be?
Well, villain might be a little strong term.
Who are the antagonists going to be? Who's going to get in Captain Pikachu's way?
Well, we have a team, a sort of a mysterious team called the Explorers. And they seem to be headed up by a young man named Methio, who his partner Pokemon is Ceruledge. And he's very sort of calculating. He's a little bit cold, maybe. He's very intimidating as a person, Methio is, and he wants to get Lico's pendant, and we don't know why.
Ooh, okay. So there's I saw from the trailer. There's speaking of him, yeah.
There you go.
There was the trailer. There's also a weird, I don't know, mechanical or bejeweled Pokeball or something like that.
Roy has a Pokeball that he has, and it is integral to the mysteries that we'll be exploring later in the season.
That's one of the exciting things about the new show is it starts off and introduces us to these characters, gets us into this adventure with so many questions and mysteries to sort of unravel as the season goes on. So we have to be a little cagey to make sure that we don't spoil anything for anyone.
Of course. Well, all this sounds great. I think, as you said, the word's bittersweet. I feel kind of sad that Ash and Pikachu are going away, but I'm very excited to meet this new cast of characters and go on a new adventure with them through the sky with Captain Pikachu. We're all out of time. We're all out of time here, but thank you so much for coming and talking to me at Comic-Con.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes. So I have been a massive fan of Pokemon my entire life, and I'm so happy new generations get to grow up with a Pokemon series of their own, even though Indigo League will always be the best. We've got lots more ahead right here at IGN's Comic-Con coverage, so don't go anywhere.
Offended.